Sometimes you got to motivate your own self. You got to say, self, get your ass up and go do stuff. Because sometimes you're not going to have other people there with you who can help you through that moment. Because when you wake up in the morning, if you're feeling depressed, you can't rely on someone on the outside to make you feel better when you intrinsically are hurting. You got to say, okay, self, when have I had enough? When have I had enough punishing my own self? The punishment is in depressing yourself. And when you're depressed, you're holding yourself back. You are holding your own self down. You have mentally convinced yourself that you can't do something. Once you have convinced you, how is an outsider supposed to unconvince you? You see, so you got to come from deep within. I mean, like, when you're feeling depressed and you're like at a point where you're like, I just can't take it anymore. I'm really going to contemplate doing something like hurting myself. I'm right there. Stop yourself right there. And if you've seen someone else in that situation, how would you handle it? Would you stop them and say, wait, what's going on? Would you take the time to say something, or would you just keep passing by and ignore it? So why would you do that with your own self? Why would you ignore your own self? See, oftentimes people that neglect their life and look out for others forget about their own self, and they get lost. And you have to reground yourself. And sometimes that'll cause a temporary depression. Now, that's not oppression, that's not possession. It just means at the moment something was weighing you down, but you could still be freed from that weight. You don't have to carry that. You're not possessed. See, somebody that's possessed is all out evil. Period. There's no redemption for someone like that. That's not you. The second death, it isn't meant for you. It's not meant for me. It's not meant for you. No, we still house the Holy Spirit. We still got the truth. So even though you may get depressed sometimes and be like, oh my gosh, how am I going to make it? Come from within, man. And I'm telling you, people will start coming to you. Birds of a feather flock together. Like attracts like. So if you are bringing into your life positive energy and you're coming from a pure soul place, you are going to have people similar come to you. But in the meantime, that doesn't mean that you give up on you. That doesn't mean just sit and wait for someone to come save you. Don't wait for somebody else or a movie or an external factor to give you joy to help you cope through that moment. No, you got to come from your internal self and say, what's going on here? Fix that. Because then if you could rid yourself of that altogether, you don't have to worry about masking it all the time. Like a corporate entity, a mask. Come from your soul and be whole. Know that there is redemption. Know that you hold the key to your happiness, to your own peace of mind, because nobody could take you from you. You could give yourself up to something, but that is a choice. Don't make that choice. Be your own voice. Love yourself. Guide yourself. If you need to give yourself a pep talk, do it. If you need to find something to get you through that moment, do it. But make sure whatever you're doing is something you're going to grow from. Because if not, when this cycle repeats itself, because insanity repeats itself, you're going to look and say, damn, last year I was in the exact same spot, or I'm repeating the exact cycle. You know, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So, examine your life, hold yourself accountable, and love yourself.